Higher Education 101. Let's face it, higher education is confusing. There are so many different levels, there are so many different things going on. Let's talk through it and get you acquainted a little bit with the higher education system as a whole, the California education system and institutions, what transferable versus non-transferable coursework is, and then just how the grading system works a little bit. Alright, let's jump right into it. Higher education degrees. There are many levels of degrees. Here at community colleges, like Columbia, we get to offer certificates and associate's degrees. Certificates are job training. You can get certificates in all kinds of things, hospitality management, automotive technology, child development. They're primarily vocational training for a particular job, skill set, designed to get you some skills to get into the workforce quickly. No general education is necessary for most certificates. In the associate's degree is the next level here, and the Associates of Science or Associates of Arts, this ASOE stands for Associates of Science in Occupational Education, and those are typically closely tied with our certificate programs. It adds that general ed component on for the degree. ADN, and there's lots of others, ADN is Associate's Degree in Nursing. Some of them are specific to their field. Those are degrees that can be offered at a community college. Some bachelor's level university type things offer associate's degrees, but typically you'll find them at community colleges, and they require 60 units in order to graduate. The next level is bachelor's degrees, and these are done at four-year institutions, universities. That's also called undergrad, but Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science, of Nursing, etc., those are typically 120-ish units and can be done at the university level. After that, you would go on to a graduate level coursework. Master's degrees, there's all kinds of specific master's degrees available. Master's of Science, Business, Administration, Nursing, all kinds of things. And depending on the area you are going into would depend on whether a master's degree would be required for your job. The last level I'm going to talk about is that professional level, that grad school done at in a specialized field, at a specialized school. Think doctors, dentists, chiropractors. Their PhDs and educational doctorates are in here as well, and those would be those professional, graduate level degrees. Just thought this would be interesting to share with you. This is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics for 2012. The unemployment rate and also the weekly earnings depending on the degree or whatever level of schooling that you have completed. If you look at less than a high school diploma, that's obviously the highest unemployment rate and the lowest salary. I found it interesting that this professional degree here was a little bit higher in median weekly earnings and a little bit less on the unemployment rate than a doctoral degree. And this is because that's where those medical doctors and lawyers are in, because their degrees are professional, not necessarily doctoral, even though they are, but this is more, the PhDs and things like that. So anyways, found that interesting, but you can see that definitely the higher level the education, the higher general pay and lower unemployment rates happen. Let's talk specifically about California higher education system. There are 112 community colleges, Columbia being one of them, and we have lots of others in the area. Those again are those associate's degree and or get you ready for the university or the workforce institutions. California State Universities are the CSUs. There are 23 in California. Our closest one to Columbia is Stan State. Other popular ones coming from here would be Sac State, Fresno State, any of the Bay Area ones. There's quite a few there. Also Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is a CSU, and that's a popular destination for our students. University of California are those UC schools. There are 10 of them. 9 of them offer undergraduate degrees. UC San Francisco is only those graduate or professional level degrees. And so our closest one is UC Merced, and other popular ones from our area are Berkeley and Davis, and also Santa Cruz. Those are the ones that are typical for our students to explore. There are tons of private schools in California as well as the world. Our closest ones are University of the Pacific, or UOP, in Stockton. Brandman has an office in Modesto, I believe, and then there's quite a few others that are around. Those are typically more expensive and typically also have good financial aid programs to help with that. Give you a little bit of a breakdown between the UCs and the CSUs, a map to kind of show you the different places that they're located in the state, and then also the different focuses that they have. A lot of people are asking, you know, what is the difference between a UC and a CSU besides cost? UCs cost more. And primarily, the UCs are designated as academic research institutions. Their professors are working on advancing that research and the theoretical and analytical stuff of those professions, whereas the CSUs are primarily teaching education. The faculty's primary function is to teach your courses and get you ready for the workforce. So that is the primary difference. I've included the list here that gives some more of the breakdown on the particulars there, and you can pause this and read that. Let's talk about the differences between transferable coursework and non-transferable coursework. Here at Columbia, and actually most institutions, there is a number system, and gives you lower division and upper division coursework. Remember in high school where you had freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, one was upper division, one was lower division, or upperclassmen and lowerclassmen? Well, the course numbers are what determines that in college. So you might have a freshman, in college who is taking different level coursework, or you may have somebody who's been in college for 4 years taking a 100 level course, and they're maybe not a freshman, but they're taking that 100 level course. And so it really doesn't matter in college. What matters is your coursework. And at Columbia, we offer transferable coursework as well as non-transferable coursework. 0 to 99, it's actually 1 to 99, are the courses that are labeled transfer at Columbia. And that would be your freshman, sophomore level. And we kind of combine those two here. And those would be courses transferring to a CSU or UC. The course descriptions indicate where they transfer, and it's important to make sure that it's going to transfer to the institution that you're thinking of going to if transferring is your choice. Non-transferable coursework, the 100 and 199 typically, those courses will apply to your associate's degree as well as the 1 to 99 courses, but those are things like Math 104, Guidance 100, English 151 that would not transfer to a university. And then anything 200 or above is considered pre-collegiate or skills development, and so those would not be transferable, nor would they be applicable to a degree. Sometimes you have to take them as a prerequisite to get to the coursework that you need, and other times it's just interest level courses. Let's talk a little bit about the grading system. We do just a standard traditional scale at Columbia, A, B, C, D, and F. And I've given you the percentages of the standard. Each instructor should have their chart listed on their syllabus. There are special courses that have to grade differently because of state licensing or things like that. But in general, this is the grading scale. And we don't do plus or minuses here. Some universities do that, and it affects your GPA. But here it's just A, B, C, or D, or F. I've also included other little codes that you might find on a transcript. W means to withdraw from a course that you've started but haven't finished, but you pulled out before you got a grade. An I is an incomplete, meaning that maybe something happened at the end of the semester, or you didn't turn in an assignment and you've made arrangements with an instructor for him to postpone your grade, your final grade posting, until that had been completed, and then the professor would then file whichever grade you earn at the end of that arranged time. A P just stands for pass, and an NP is no pass. And sometimes a course is just offered as a pass, no pass, and that's what you'd be given as your grade. Sometimes it's given as a choice that you can take a pass or no pass or a letter grade. I would typically suggest that you would get the letter grade if you choose a pass or no pass and get a pass, and then try to transfer. Your institution may just give you a C GPA on that because they don't know if it was an A or a C. And some institutions don't take that. They need the letter grade to make sure it wasn't a C minus. So I would definitely recommend a letter grade, especially if you're intending to transfer. The IP typically doesn't show up on your transcripts, but in case it does, it would be an in progress, just that you're already enrolled in that class. How do you figure out your grade point average? Hopefully you know this, but if you don't, the catalog breaks it down for you, and this is just a tiny little tutorial. You've got your total grade points. You get points based on what letter grade you get. A's are worth 4, B's 3, C's 2, on and on, over the total units attempted. And let me show you what that looks like here. It's kind of blurry because I had to enlarge it, but let's say you took an English class and it had 3 units, so that would be your units attempted. The grade you got was an A, and the A is worth 4 points. So you multiply 3 times 4, and that gives you 12 points. Chemistry is 5 units, got an A, that's worth 4 points. You times 5 times 4, and that gives you 20 points. On and on. You add those all together, and that gives you your total grade points. You add the units attempted, all of those together gives you your total units attempted, and then you divide your grade points by your credit hours, and that gives you your GPA. Okay? We figure out your semester GPA, your cumulative GPA, which means your entire college, experience, and then transfer GPA is if you intend to transfer. They only look at the transferable courses and determine what your GPA is for you incoming into their institution. Hopefully that helps you understand that process. And remember, you earn the grade you get. There should be no surprises in college. However, the instructors don't give you those grade checks like high school does with progress reports every 3 or 4 weeks. You are in charge of keeping on top of your grades. Please don't let it be a surprise. Know what you're doing. Check your grades. After they're posted after the semester, you can go on Connect Columbia and find your grades. You should be keeping track of that. This is your education. You should know what's happening. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll be happy to talk to you through all of this stuff, and you can watch this again as many times as you need to. Thanks.